Good evening and welcome to Monday, July 18th, 2016, Jurupa Unified School District Board of Education meeting. We will start with roll call, please. Here.
Here. Here.
Here. Thank you. And Mr. Mendez, would you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Please place your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And I don't think I assigned an inspirational comment for tonight, so we'll move into the welcome and the presentation by Jurupa Unified School District Student Youth Court participants. Mr. Dabrowski.
Thank you very much. We have Mrs. Garza Gonzalez and many of her youth court participants here to give you a brief presentation.
Good evening. And our youth court students will actually serve as the inspiration tonight, I'm sure, and they'll come up and address you as soon as I go over some of the data from this year's student youth court. So Student Youth Court was born really 2 years ago, even though this was our first year running youth court here in the district office. It was part of my mission to fulfill Elliot's vision for implementation of more restorative practices when addressing student misconduct, and also my desire as I worked with students to address some of the drug use and intervene early with students so that they receive the counseling they need before we get to an actual expulsion. The program goals that are part of our Memorandum of Understanding with Jurupa Valley Sheriff Station, the District Attorney's Office, Reach Out, a nonprofit organization, and Women Wonder Riders, another nonprofit organization, is what you see on the slide, which is to provide an alternative response for school suspensions for high-risk youth with school-based behavioral and delinquency problems, and provide an alternative response for the juvenile justice system for first-time, school-based, nonviolent misdemeanor infraction and incidents for juvenile respondents. Our participants, both our volunteer jurors and our respondents, come from all Jurupa Unified secondary schools. The recruitment for our volunteers is done during school registration and at the start of the school year, and then it kind of takes off word of mouth, as you might hear today. One of our students from the middle school volunteered for youth court, went home and told his sister that she had to be a part of it, so then she started volunteering as well. We do one volunteer training at the start of the year, either in late August or early September. And then we have our first youth court after that training takes place, with continuous training throughout the year. The students are never assigned cases from their school or their feeder school, and participation in the program is completely voluntary, both for our respondents and for our jurors. Here's some preliminary data on the cases that we heard this year. Our respondents, we had a total of 62 cases. We did attend the California Association Youth Conference this past June and found out that to hear 62 cases in a youth court that only meets twice a month is pretty outstanding. We thought we were on the low side, but apparently we are not. The average age of our respondent is 14. Boys accounted for 44 of the cases and girls for 14 of the cases. Of the respondents, 74% were Hispanic, 8% were African American, 14% were white, 3% were of another ethnicity, and 76% received free and reduced lunch. So when we match that with any data for significant disproportionality, we are actually not excluding anyone from our program, nor are we over-identifying any particular ethnicity. The respondent grade level, as you can see in that graph, mostly are 8th graders, which again identifies with national trends. I don't know if you are aware, but nationally, 8th grade students hold the highest suspension and expulsion rates. And then the referring entities, Jurupa Middle School jumped on board almost immediately, and they sent us the most cases of any of our schools, so they were really using this program as another means of correction. The district attorney's office would refer SARB cases to us. Jurupa Valley Sheriff Station also sent us about 7 cases, and then from our schools, Rubidoux High School also bought into the idea almost immediately and began referring students, and the other schools referred students as well. We did see students from every single program, including STEPS, Nueva Vista, and Rivercrest, but those came from the district attorney's office. The types of cases that we saw, as I mentioned before, the district attorney referred mostly SARB cases. In fact, they referred 13 SARB cases to us. Jurupa Valley Sheriff Station referred 2 sexting cases, 3 cases for possession of an illegal substance, 1 case of trespassing, 1 case of filing a false police report, and 1 truancy case. The schools referred 3 cases for habitual tardiness as well as violations of Ed Code. And for the 48900C, which is was under the influence, possessed, or sold, because it's all part of that education code, I just want to reassure you, it was only for students that were either in possession of a very small amount of an illegal substance or under the influence of alcohol or drugs. As you can see, our students were very creative in the dispositions that they came up with. So the data shows that our students ordered 17 students to write an apology letter, either to their parents, to a school member, or, to a staff member, or to other students. They asked students to be on time to school, and this was usually followed up with a phone call to the parents, checking on attendance records to make sure students were indeed on time. Class escort for those students that had trouble getting to class on time when they were already at school. Community service in 50 of the 66 cases, and that's because community service is woven into the program. Conference or event participation, so there were certain conferences that we would attend, or the Young Men's Conference, for example, that is sponsored by UCR. They asked a couple of our respondents to attend that, and then we arranged for transportation. Counseling in 23 of the cases, and this included family counseling, drug counseling, curfew and reverse curfew, so they would tell the respondents what time they should be in bed and what time they should wake up to go to school. And again, follow-up was usually done via a telephone call. Drug testing, which was done through Women Wonder Writers. An essay, we had one of our very first students was a student that was a senior, referred to us by the district attorney's office because he was not attending school. So the students had him write an essay about colleges that he might be interested in and careers he might be interested in, and he was very vocal about not understanding why that was part of his disposition. And his jury explained that seniors were in the process of writing personal statements, and they wanted him to experience that, which is why they were assigning that disposition to him. Journaling, jury duty, all respondents have to then come back and give back to our youth court program. Participation in a school activity, many of our respondents are not engaged in school, so they were asked to find a club or a sport that they were interested in and then bring back verification that they were indeed attending club meetings or trainings. A random search, tutoring, which we followed up with schools with their sign-in sheets from their tutoring program, and weekly grade checks that were followed up with by our assistant principals. The 2015-16 program highlights were really much more than I could have ever expected or dreamed of. We logged over 1,600 volunteer hours between our respondents and our volunteer jurors. With successful completion of dispositions, We saw an increase in grades and attendance, and even in those students that did not fulfill the disposition and did not successfully complete the program, when we went back and dug a little deeper, we saw that from the time they came to youth court to where they were when we checked on their grades and attendance, all had increased GPA and improved attendance. We had the opportunity to participate in 3 field trips, the first being Beyond the Bench in Anaheim, We Day at the Forum, and the California Association of Youth Courts at UC Santa Cruz. We had mentorship opportunities through the relationships formed with volunteer hearing officers, which all came from the district attorney's office. Guest speakers that came and did training on bullying, on sexting. Any case that we thought our jurors might need a little bit more of background training, we would have a trainer present the 2 weeks before they actually heard a case, so they would be better able to come up with an appropriate disposition and questions. Activity recognition from the high schools. Any student that logged more than 36 community service hours with the program and maintained a 3.0 GPA earned their activity letter from their high school. And our first annual school student youth court scholarship banquet, where we earned or raised enough money from our sponsors to be able to send 10 students to the California Association of Youth Court conference in UC Santa Cruz, and we are now recognized as an official youth court through that association as well. Now that we know a little bit more about the program, we have some big plans for this coming year, 2016 and 17. As you can see, our program is now built on 4 pillars, the first one being leadership. And we will be using the 7 habits of highly effective teens to grow student leaders. So, social change agents, we want students to develop an understanding and an awareness of how they impact their environment and increase their civic participation. Restorative practices and community service and service learning. We will have a student youth court council, which is made up of the 10 students that attended the conference. More team building activities. I've identified a Jurupa Unified staff member that runs challenge days who will now be assisting us 2 Saturdays a month to build more of a team concept within the program. Increased case management. Women Wonder Writers will actually dedicate 1 employee to do all of the case management for student youth court. Better data analysis, we have better surveys, and with every student now having a Chromebook, we will be able to gather data at every single meeting. Technology integration to support the Digital Gateway Initiative. We're creating a student youth court haiku page where students will be able to go into a calendar and see all of the community service activities that are available in our community any given month. They will have to log their volunteer hours through that haiku page, and there will also be social skills lessons for all students, whether they are volunteer jurors or respondents, to complete. So they're kind of going to have mini homework assignments. And we're going to increase our service learning. The program is completely student run. The clerk is a student, and they assist the judge. The bailiff is a student, and they also learn how to do the job of a bailiff. And when they're here, court is in session, please stand up, we are in recess. They do all of that work. And 2 of our students that are here tonight were advocating to be able to ask our Spanish-speaking parents the questions in Spanish. That's another very important component of the program, is that not only do we seek to get to the root cause of the behavior from the student, but we talk to the parent. Our hearing officers weren't in agreement with that. We do have an adult that is the court interpreter for the day, so what we have created now is the role of court interpreter, and one of our students that passes the court interpreter test that we put together and that is in a high level of Spanish at their school will now be the court interpreter, with an adult standing nearby to assist in any issues that they have translating. And with that said, I'm now going to invite our students to come up. They each have a few words, I believe. I'd like to introduce them. Of the 10 students that attended the conference, we had 5 from Jurupa Valley High School, and that would be Camille Hermosillo and Guadalupe Chavez. We had 4 students from Rubidoux High School, Xochitl Lopez, Monet Gonzalez, Cindy Guerrero, and Nadia Velasquez. And Cindy and Nadia are here tonight. Leoncillo Hermosillo is from Miraloma Middle School. He will be an 8th grader. He was too young to attend the conference, but he wanted to be here today. And then we had 1 student that attended the conference from Jurupa Middle School that will be a freshman at Patriot High School. And I do invite all of you to come and visit Youth Court and see what we do and how busy these kids are and just how insightful the whole process is.
All of us, well, except for excluding the one that's too young, but we were all able to go to the Santa Cruz conference, and it was a great experience. We were able to meet other kids that all across California, I believe. Yeah, California, that were in the same program as us, the youth court. And we all went to different little stations, and they talked about different topics. Everyone got a different one, I believe. I went to the drug use and how it affects your body, your brain. And then I also attended another one that was more specific about how they got students in their schools to connect with each other, how to work better with each other. And it was just a great experience to, I don't know.
So I am a juror in youth court, and I have some thoughts. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank the staff for creating this program. Not only does it nurture my interest in law, but it serves also as a stress reliever for me. It serves as a stress reliever in a way that I don't have to worry about tests or grades for a little while I'm volunteering. This program relieves my stress because it reminds me that I have made a good decision in spending my Saturday morning socializing with my peers, trying to find a way to help students who are at risk. Another thing that I absolutely enjoy about this program is the guest speakers. As of right now, my high school years have been hectic. I've been getting into tons of clubs, tried volunteering for hundreds of hours, and have gotten into as many AP classes as possible. When we have a guest speaker, he or she begins speaking and tells us how difficult it was to be in the place they are today. Guest speakers give me confidence because that way I know that if I am struggling to getting to my dream school or dream job, I am going the right way. Being the first of 4 kids wanting to go to college really weighs on me. I had no mentor before I joined youth court. When I came to youth court, these guest speakers and staff members became my mentors. Every day I come out of youth court, I value education more and come out with a smile on my face because I know that we helped at least one student that was at risk.
Hello everyone, my name is Camille, and I'm going to be a sophomore at Jurupa Valley. And this year, as freshman year, it was very stressed out, like Guadalupe said. I had to take all the honors classes, I had to be on clubs and everything, but when I came to youth court, it was like a new experience. It wasn't like any other club that we have at school. Here, we get to help our own peers and lead them. And I thought that was a great way that I could help out. And one thing that I really, really liked was We Day that we participated in on April 7th. This event was just amazing. It was mind-blowing. I didn't even imagine how many youth helped out the world and helped make a change in this world. Like, there was, how many people? Like 16,000 youth that were there, and it was just mind-blowing to see how little things can change the world. Like, here it may seem that they're small little things, but they can have a huge impact on them. And being there was just, I don't know, it like changed my life. Like, now I want to help out the world more. I want to change it. I want to help it, even if it's just a little small thing. And currently at my high school, I want to make a club of We Day. I don't think I'm going to name it that because people are going to misinterpret it, but I want to like help people get more involved, because I see that a lot of people, they don't really want to get involved, they don't help out or anything, and I'm trying to get this program out there that they can come and help out. And yeah, this program changes a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Hello, my name is Leoncio, and I'm gonna enter the 8th grade. But when I found out about the youth court, when I started seeing those cases, it reminded me back at school how everyone would act really, really inappropriate. And when I saw those cases, I just really wanted to help people find the right path and not go down the bad way. So that's what really motivated me to join student youth court and actually want to keep going on that path. So my experience there was pretty great, and I liked it all, giving dispositions and just helping out other people. And it also helped me out going to We Day too, like how she said. It was really amazing to see how many people wanted to change the world. So it was just a really great experience. So that's all I had to say.
Thank you all for coming out and sharing. A couple of us went to your end of the year celebration, and we got to see a lot of Mr. Garcia and I got to see a lot of the kids and see the changes that have made. And I think it's a great thing that you guys are helping out with all of this. Anyone else wanted to say anything?
I just was really impressed by the follow-up that you have with the student candidates, that are in the program, then go through it. And the continued encouragement and support they seem to continuously, to get until they finally, can get their focus back in life. And even for those that were not maybe did not successfully complete the process or the program, that even those are even still doing better than they were prior to the time they entered the program. So I think it definitely is having a tremendous impact on the students and the campus of our school district, and I thank you very much and everyone that's involved in getting this established in our district, so thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you to the students. I think it's a great program, and I know one of you mentioned it's a small change, and even in our district here it's a small change, but it's really positive. And I did get an opportunity to attend one of the youth courts and go to one of the dispositions and watch the students really talk about their fellow student. And I think as adults sometimes we seem to rush to punish, and it's just and I, not that I was expecting to see that with the students, but I saw exactly the opposite. Just real empathy and really caring about the kids. And you can see through Mrs. Garza-Gonzalez's presentation with the dispositions. None of those were punishment the way sometimes we as adults might see it out in the real world. And I also wanted to mention that President Schmidt and I did get to go to the banquet, and I think the judge that was there speaking, he talked about recidivism rates in criminal courts, in adult criminal courts, which all the prosecutors are from there, are like 70 to 74% for folks that go through there. And for students, it's like 1/10 of that, 7%. So Really great program, and I commend the kids here tonight. Great job, and Ms. Garza Gonzalez, looking forward to another great year. Thank you.
I want to thank the students for stepping up and making a difference, and I'm sure that you find out, as you said, you get a lot out of it yourself. And I think it's remarkable that it does make a difference because you are given the punishment and you have a different perspective about punishment. And I really like the SA situation because they have to really think about it. And that's the difference. You know, the thinking about, well, other people really care about what I do and whether I do the right thing or not and what the right thing is. So I commend all of you for stepping up and taking the time. And thank you very much for coming here and letting us know what you've been doing. Thanks so much.
Thank you again. Next, we'll move on to recognize the receipt of the Fresh Fruit and Vegetables Program Grant Award. Mrs. Ford?
The California Department of Education recently notified the district that it has been awarded a grant for the Fresh Fruit and Vegetable Program in the amount of $10,195, and a copy of the grant is included in your backup materials.
Thank you. And next, we'll move on to public verbal comment. And Mr. Philip Nova?
My name is Philip Nava here. I come here tonight to urge the board. I read the paper this last Friday that passed that the ag classes were canceled or that the teachers were dismissed. And I have attended 3 previous meetings since the allegations of misconduct were surfaced in the district against the ag teachers. And in lieu of the recent actions taken by the investigation by the school district, that the investigation of these allegations of misconduct would be conducted, that the district never proceeded to have that investigation. I do not believe, because there's two for an unsanitary animal condition pens, you either have to contact the animal control officer or the Fish and Game. If you have to contact them within a reasonable period of time in order to examine, investigate the unsanitary conditions in the pen animals, they have to be contacted in a reasonable amount of time, and so that they can see that the unsanitary conditions themselves. And so I also believe that there are several legal issues that the board themselves didn't address resolving this matter. The one that the wrongful termination or dismissal of these teachers actually constitutes a violation of their constitutional rights, the right to due process. Teachers and anybody else employed, including yourselves, have the right to a property interest in employment. Once you secure that right under the Constitution, that your rights to an employment contract can't be taken from you without due process. And the teachers themselves were never given the opportunity, or were never given the opportunity for due process. In other words, to secure that right. It was already determined that whatever action was going to be taken by the board. Another problem I had was the right to know the charges against a person. Okay, they knew the charge. The charge was misconduct, and then to cross-examine the witnesses and the evidence against them. Okay, because the charges were never, no formal action was never initiated. They hadn't have no opportunity to cross-examine the witness, confront the evidence or witness against him, or able to consumer similar provisions of it. Were able to cross-examine the evidence because it was not fully investigated. So then the other last thing was a variety of constitutional violations of law. In closing, I'd like to say, as board members yourselves, if allegations of misconduct were brought against any of you, and some other charges were brought against you, and your right to due process was violated,
and the right to know charges was not violated, but the charges were unfounded, brought against you, but unfounded and not proven, fully proven, then you were not given an opportunity, because the charges were not fully brought against you, you were not given an opportunity to confront or cross-examine the witnesses or evidence against you. And a variety of contractual violations of law were also, I don't think that you would appreciate that either, to have your rights violated in the termination of your employment. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to administrative reports and written communications and report on Saturday school program. Mr. Jabrowski.
Thank you. The Saturday School Enrichment Program was offered 8 different times during the 15-16 school year. All sites participated, and a total of $204,166 in daily attendance was recovered. After costs, the net gain was $105,097. Enrichment activities offered throughout the district drew students in grades 3 through 12 to the program. And you have in your supporting documents the dates for the 16-17 school year, where it would be offered 8 times again.
Thank you. And next, we'll move to the Williams Settlement Quarterly Uniform Complaint Report Summary. Mr. Jabrowski.
And we had 0 complaints.
Thank you. And next is to consider the nomination for the CSBA 2016 Legislative Awards Program. Mr. Duchamp.
This is an annual consideration brought to the board by your association, California School Boards Association, in which school boards or members can nominate a legislator. It can be a member of the state senate or state assembly. I believe it can be anyone, not just representing this district. So those nominations are due September 2nd. So by consent, the board may wish to nominate a current legislator who's is worthy of recognition by CSBA on behalf of the school district. So you could bring to your next meeting is August 1st, any considerations for that and move that forward.
All right. Mr. Deshawn, I noticed in the,
Oh, they did. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you could nominate anybody. So they have to be within our boundaries. I'm sorry. And those include Assembly Member Eric Lindner, Senator Richard Roth, Congressman Mark Takano, Senator Barbara Boxer, and Senator Dianne Feinstein.
that was actually going to be my question, because in the backup documents, it did say state or federal, so.
Yeah.
Right.
Any other questions on that?
Thank you.
If you have someone that you would like for us to recognize, if you can get that information to me. And next, are there any other administrative reports or written communications?
There are none.
Thank you. Next, we'll move on to the action session to approve routine action items by consent, items A 1 through 28.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. And there we go. It keeps going blank. All right, item B is to approve the purchase of the Cisco Firepower Next Generation Firewall. Mrs. Ford.
As a component of the data center project, administration is requesting approval to purchase a next-generation Cisco firewall. A firewall is the first layer of security from outside attacks, viruses, and malware. In addition, an upgraded firewall will increase the bandwidth capacity, which will support the Digital Gateway One-to-One initiative. And it also will support the upgrade of our current analog phone system to a voice-over IP system. Pricing includes the actual firewall appliances, support, and the migration services. We are using the state CMAS contract, and the purchase will be funded through special reserve for capital outlay. Administration recommends the board approve the purchase of a Cisco Firepower Next Generation Firewall from SigmaNet in the amount of $232,638.41.
Thank you.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item C is to adopt resolution number 2017-01, the resolution of the Board of Education of the Jurupa Unified School District approving and authorizing the execution of joint community facilities agreement. Mrs. Ford.
If the board recalls, on September 14th, 2015, the board approved the formation of the Community Facilities District number 13, not CFD 13. At the time of the formation, the board did enter into the Facilities Mitigation Agreement. This is for the Joint Community Facilities Agreement, the JCFA, and this is for the JCFA with the Parks District, the JARPD. And so at this time, administration recommends the board adopt resolution number 2017/01, resolution of the Board of Education of the Jurupa Unified School District approving and authorizing the execution of joint community facilities agreement, and this is with JARPD.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item D, adopt resolution number 2017-02, resolution of the Board of Education of the Unified School District approving and authorizing the execution of joint community facilities agreement. Mrs. Ford.
And this agreement is another JCFA for CFD number 13, but this is with JCSD, so Jurupa Community Services District. And this administration recommends the board adopt this resolution, number 2017/02, resolution of the Board of Education of the Jurupa Unified School District approving and authorizing the execution of joint community facilities agreement with JCSD.
Move to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item E, adopt resolution number 2017-03, resolution of the Board of Education of the Jurupa Unified School District approving and authorizing the execution of joint community facilities agreement. Mrs. Ford.
And this agreement is for CFD number 51. This CFD we are not the lead agency on this. JCSD is the lead agency on this particular CFD, but we would be part of the JCFA. So administration is recommending the board adopt resolution number 2017/03, resolution of the Board of Education of the Jurupa Unified School District approving and authorizing the execution of joint community facilities agreement.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Questions or comments? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item F is to adopt resolution number 2017-04, resolution to approve contract with CDW Government LLC to purchase computer equipment, software and services, technology catalog. Mrs. Ford.
Administration is requesting authorization to purchase computer equipment, software, and services from our technology catalog on an as-needed basis from CDW Government LLC, using a piggyback bid from Monterey County Office of Education and CalSave. Expenditures will be reported to the board through the through the PO report. Administration recommends the board adopt resolution number 2017/04, resolution to approve contract with CDW Government LLC to purchase computer equipment, software, and services from the technology catalog.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
I have a quick question, Ms. Sport. So, if the value of, let's say you're going to purchase, I think it's $80,000 or $82,000, you would have to bring to the board. That still applies in this case.
That wouldn't apply in this case because it's not a bid item, because we would be going on a piggyback. So all of these would come to the board on the PO report.
Okay.
I would imagine it's more advantageous to purchase what we need via this type of process as opposed to going out on our own to look for similar pricing out there.
Yes, yeah, we've looked at the pricing and the different options, through the piggyback, or if we were to just go to the vendor and ask, but they would give us that same price. They would have to, but by allowing us to do the piggyback, it eliminates that need to have that 45-day of the bid process, go through the advertising, and wait for that. And these are frequently purchased goods that we'll be purchasing throughout the year. So instead of having to bring that back to the board for approval when it's a larger purchase, we'll be able to go ahead and make the purchase and then bring it on the PO report.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item G, adopt resolution number 2017-05, the resolution to approve contract with Dell Marketing LP to purchase computer equipment. Mrs. Ford.
We're basically asking for the same resolution, but in this case, it would be for Dell, and this would be for any of our Dell products that we purchase throughout the year. So administration is recommending the board adopt resolution number 2017/05, resolution to approve contract with Dell Marketing LP to purchase computer equipment.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Questions or comments? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item H, adopt resolution number 2017-06, the resolution to approve contract with HP Incorporated and authorized resellers to purchase computer equipment. Mrs. Ford.
This is another that's the same, but this is with HP. And as you know, HP is our standard for our teacher laptops. So administration recommends the board approve resolution number 2017/06, resolution to approve contract with HP Incorporated and authorized resellers to purchase computer equipment.
Thank you.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item I, adopt resolution number 2017-07, the resolution to approve contract with Konica Minolta Business Solutions USA to purchase copiers, multifunction office machines. Mrs. Ford.
This is another of the same. You can blame Mr. Jeff Lewis for all of these because he wants to get these taken care of at the beginning of the school year. But this is for our copiers. Konica Minolta is our standard for our copiers. So we're again asking the board to approve this resolution to contract with Konica Minolta Business Solutions USA to purchase copiers, multifunction office machines.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item J, adopt resolution number 2017-08, resolution to approve contract with Lakeshore Learning Materials to purchase school supplies. Mrs. Ford.
And this is another of the same. This particular one, because we did close the central warehouse, this allows some larger POs to be generated so that the schools can have supplies and, classroom supplies in a more timely manner, in a just-in-time.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item L, adopt resolution number 2017-10, the resolution to approve contract with Office Depot Incorporated to purchase school supplies. Mrs. Ford.
And another of the same.
Did I
And
miss? Okay. We are on item K,
okay.
to adopt resolution number 2017-09, the resolution to approve contract with Office Depot Incorporated to purchase office supplies.
So this, again, is the same in the ability to purchase office supplies, generate open POs for those and get them in a timely manner.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion approved and seconded. Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Now, item L, to adopt resolution number 2017-10, the resolution to approve contract with Office Depot Incorporated to purchase school supplies.
And again, this is so that they can get those school supplies as quickly as possible.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item M is to adopt resolution number 2017-11, the resolution to approve contract with Southwest School and Office Supply to purchase just-in-time classroom and office supplies. Mrs. Ford.
And this is another, and this is Southwest School Supply is one, Southwest School and Office Supply is one of the vendors that we use more frequently. So again, this would be allow POs to be issued and to get those classroom supplies just in time.
Make a motion.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please. Motion passes 4-0. Item N is to adopt resolution number 2017-12, the resolution to approve contract with Waxy Sanitation Supply to purchase custodial supplies. Mrs. Ford.
And this is the last one, and this is for custodial supplies.
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Call for the vote, please. And motion passes 4-0. Item O is board member comments and committee reports. And we'll start with you tonight, Ms. Johnston.
We had a good 4th of July. A couple of us rode the bus, and Cheryl campaigned without campaigning. I said, why didn't you put a vote for me sign out there? So anyway, we all had a good time anyhow.
Mr. Mendez.
Well, I'm sorry to have missed the parade this year, and hopefully I can be there next year. And Ms. Ford, our school should be in really good shape after the passing of all these resolutions this evening. They should have their supplies to run for quite a while. So that's good to see and good to have them ready to go. I once again want to mention how wonderful I think that the youth court here in our district is, and the fact that as many opportunities or means that we can find and programs to provide support and interventions to students that are at risk in any way in our district, the better it is for everybody in terms of their education, the community as a whole, and just our better citizens for the world. So, and their volunteerism that they're doing, it's amazing, and still carry their full load of, classes that they have to, be responsible for in their schools. So that's it. I just really appreciate having that in our district. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Garcia.
And just want to agree with Mr. Mendez on the program for student youth court. I think it's a great complement to the rest of our programs, PBIS, and parent involvement, community outreach. I think they all work together, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I can't wait to come back to student youth court again next year. See a couple more cases. I got to meet some of the prosecutors, the women wonder writers, and some of the prosecutors. And these kids are just amazing. I just can't say enough about them. I think one of the kids in the disposition that I sat in on, he was previously a respondent. So when I spoke to them a little bit at the end, just wanted to find out what schools they went to, and he said, well, I'm at the Learning Center, and I just got expelled earlier in the year. And he was one of the most active questioners, sat up here and questioned the student and his parents too, his mom. And it wasn't, like I mentioned, it wasn't about, placing blame or saying you're not doing this right or not doing that right. It's about really, they really had thought out questions and a lot of empathy for their fellow students. So I think it's a great program, and I look forward to next year, just like I mentioned. Thank you.
Thank you. And I appreciate Ilsa Garza Gonzalez bringing the students from student court here again tonight also, and being able to go and see their completion ceremonies. And we do have a lot of great kids, not only in student court, but throughout all of our schools. Good time at 3rd of July with a lot of the community at Patriot and fireworks, and we didn't catch any of the school on fire, so that's always a good thing. And the 4th of July parade that Country Village puts on is always a lot of fun. And our next meeting will be on August 1st, and we'll see you then. We are adjourned.